those who take part and those who don't. And that is why even in terms of welfare economics, Honorable Speaker, we have incorporated it. Transfer of monies to the 70 years plus 70-year-old and above, Honorable Speaker, is there, including those who got registered recently, Honorable Speaker. And the proposal of this House is that the 70-year and above, who are our parents, they should not continue to receive this money through the bank accounts. They should be sent on M-Pesa and all the other platforms so that they access this money at our villages, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank everyone here. To thank the Budget and Appropriations Committee, of course, with our Vice Chair, Madam Mary Amase, and all the memberships. To thank the departmental chairs again, the members of this House, all of them, including the leaders, Honorable Kimani Shongwa, Honorable Opio Wadai, representing both sides of the House, because this has been a very collaborative process. And Honorable Speaker, this budget, because we have gone through it, will make our economy better. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, because we work together with the departmental committees, I want to request one of the chairs of the departmental committees, Honorable John Mutonga Kanyuithia, to second this motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to second the adoption of the Budget and Appropriation Committee report on the budget highlights for the year 2024-2025. Honorable Speaker, we have realized that the budget has been increasing over time. And this increase is caused by the increase in the population. It is also caused by the increase in the demands for money. It is also caused by the increase in demand for development. And that increase is commensurate with the levels of development we are in, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank the Budget and Appropriation Committee for working overtime to make sure that they deliver this product in time and in the quality that the Chair has very eloquently put. Honorable Speaker, we are here today to pass or discuss this budget and adopt it. Adoption of this budget, Honorable Speaker, is progression towards completion of the budgeting cycle. Our recess in the last month of May has been very usefully utilized in the preparation of the budget from the individual committee level to the budget and appropriation, and the proposals that have just been read to you of 4.006 trillion budget have been constituted with very careful consideration of every sector in terms of their demands and in terms of what they need to do over the next 1 year. Honorable Speaker, I just want to pick a few highlights as I second. One, the midwifing of this particular budget has been a process that has costed people time. It is a process that has led to a lot of consultation. The ministries, the departments, and agencies have presented their issues. They have been in constant communication with the sectors, and they have also therefore been able to articulate exactly what they need in terms of their budget. And I am sure there hasn't been a major variation or deviation between the budget policy statement that was brought to this House early in the year and the actual budgetary estimates that have been presented this afternoon. Honorable Speaker, the budget has been made to finally respond to the needs of Kenya as an economy, to finally respond to the needs of the people of this country, to finally respond to the development needs of the people of Kenya, and to finally respond to cutting down on imports, especially in the agricultural sector, where the Chair has eloquently put that, Honorable Speaker, we are moving towards import substitution. The idea of making sure that we have our own food is one way of curbing importation. On the other hand, Honorable Speaker, the substitution, especially of the edible oils, I'm aware that the ministry or the agricultural sector is in the process of ensuring that we can produce edible oils as a country and stop spending well over 150 billion every year to support importation of edible oils. Honorable Speaker, the notable macroeconomic parameters that the Chair has presented in this House, including and not limited to the strengthening of the shilling, the lowered inflation rate, the student growth rate, and also the fiscal consolidation that has led to major reduction by 2% of the fiscal, of the deficit is a clear direction, a clear indication that this country is moving in the right direction and the economy is growing. Honourable Speaker, the Kenya Kwanza government, which has sat down and made very clear proposals, policy proposals, has clearly come up with the proposals that are leading us in the right direction. The budget that we have basically had this afternoon touches on different sectors. Honourable Speaker, education is key to this country. Uneducated people or ignorant people cannot lead, cannot grow a nation. Kenya as a country is known to have the best educated people in Africa. And this budget reflects to that spirit. Honourable Speaker, the allocation of over 700 billion shillings to the Kenyan education system attests to the fact that we want our children educated and we want to continue reducing the cost on education so that most of the Kenyans can access education. Honourable Speaker, we have also seen budgetary allocations to other sectors. And I do not need to highlight every sector, Honourable Speaker. What I want to conclude by saying is that this budget has been very finely balanced. And Honourable Speaker, notably, this is one of the processes that is not heavily contested between the majority and the minority. It's one of the processes where the spirit of this House is felt and the spirit of this House as a parliament is exhibited. Honourable Speaker, we would like to see more of this, more of agreement, more of concession in lawmaking so that we may be able to move forward and do better a job as a people and as leaders of this country as we have done in the budget process. Honourable Speaker, we are looking forward to have the appropriation bill and also there will be the finance bill. I would look forward to the same spirit that we have today. People who are happy to do the proposals of the budget, also to look at possibilities of raising money to be able to finance that particular budget, and that we do not have glaring disagreements between ourselves and our friends on the other side. Honourable Speaker, many sectors have been looked into and many sectors have been supported. To the extent possible, we are looking forward to a year that is going to be activity-filled, a year that is going to cause more reduction in terms of borrowing, a year that is going to cause to lead to more support to development. Honourable Speaker, with those very few remarks, I wish to second the adoption of the report by the chair of the Budget and Appropriation Committee. I thank you.
Honourable members, I now put the question, I now propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the consideration of the estimates of revenue and expenditure and the median term for the financial year 2024-2025 laid on the table of this House on Wednesday, 5th June 2024, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 2021 of the Constitution, Section 39 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2012 and Standing Order number 239. 1. Approves the issuance of the sum of 2,302,832,508,617,000 shillings for the Consolidated Fund to meet the expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2025. In respect of the votes contained in the first schedule, subject to the paragraph 3, that's the Committee of Supply. 2, makes the policy and financial resolutions as contained in the second schedule to the order paper. And 3, orders that the Speaker do leave the chair to facilitate the consideration of the said budget estimates with respect to each vote and program in the Committee of Supply as contemplated under Standing Order 240, consideration of the estimates in the Committee of Supply. Before I entertain your point of order, I would like to recognize the following schools: Kabare Girls High School, from Gishugu constituency, Kirinyaga County. Also wish to recognize, seated in the public gallery, Musuva Mixed Secondary School from Mwingi Central constituency, Kitui County. And on that, I will allow Honorable Mulyungi, member for Mwingi Central, to welcome them on behalf of the National Assembly.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I welcome all the students and schools who are here today visiting us to Parliament. Madam Speaker, I encourage all the students who are here to work very hard to succeed in their education and their careers, and aspire one day to be members of Parliament and the senior public servants. Travel back home safely and pass our regards to your parents. Karibuni sana and God bless you. Asante.
I'll let you have your point of order, but I hope it's relevant, because if it's not, I'll have you sit down. Yes, okay. What's your point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to the Chair of Budget. The document.
What's the point of order?
Yes, the document we have reflects 306 billion, but not 2.3 trillion. So we want to know, where is that document? The one which was printed is 3.6 billion.
Sorry? Repeat
The document which we have is 306 billion, but not 2.3 trillion. So we need to contribute to a document which reflects the figures that have been mentioned by the Chair of Budgets.
Which document are you referring to?
It is on the report on the consideration of the estimates of revenue and expenditure for financial year 2024-2025 at the medium term. And if you look at the total, it's 306 billion, the last page, but not the 2.3 trillion as mentioned by the Chair.
Honorable Chairperson, since I do not have that particular document, maybe you can respond, because I do not have that one.
Honorable Speaker, this document is containing many figures. I'll sit down with my brother so that we go through it. The data is correct, the information is correct. However, it needs to be read alongside all the others. But I'll guide him, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, let's proceed. Yes, Honorable Wamushomba, what's your point of information?
Madam Speaker, I rise on a point of information which I may need some clarification from the Chair of Budget's Appropriation Committee, and I refer to the Constitution of Kenya, Article 221.
So who do you wish to inform, the Budget Chair?
I want to inform the Chair so that he can respond probably to the House.
Let's hear first.
Article 221 of the Kenyan Constitution says at least 2 months before the end of each financial year, the Cabinet Secretary responsible for finance shall submit to the National Assembly estimates of the revenue and expenditure of the national government for the next financial year to be tabled in the National Assembly. According to what I understand this, Madam Speaker, a budget caters for both revenue estimates and expenditure estimates. Looking at what the chair of this committee has been exposing to the House, it is expenditure. So I want a clarification whether the revenue estimates have been tabled and whether that revenue estimate that was tabled includes the many loans that the government of Kenya is struggling to pay. Thank you.
Honorable Wamushomba, if you recall, I think it was the 30th of April, yes, that the minister submitted the revenue. So you're 2 months behind. Yes, all those steps have actually been ticked off. So if you are following the calendar year, because when we came in February, we immediately dealt with the budget policy statement. Yes, the revenue was submitted on the 30th of April. Yes. And in fact, what I'll do while you're still, you just go to table office, you'll be able to find it. That is done 2 months before. Yes, let's proceed. We won't waste any time on that because, yes, the chair, let's, who do I give an opportunity here? Yes, I know. Let me just check who's here. Okay, and I was just checking the chairpersons who are ready. Yeah. You know, that's why some members nowadays boast that they don't come to Parliament. Yes, because if someone comes to Parliament, you'll be able to know that. So, Honorable Pukose, member for Endebess.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Just to inform members that the chairpersons would, in this type of debate, would have priority, but I'll just give maybe 4 chairs, then other members, and so on and so forth, so that everybody gets an opportunity. But I'm also persuading the chairpersons that even though you have 15 minutes, just in consideration of your other colleagues, if you could make it brief, so that many more people can have an opportunity, because this is one of the most important tasks that Parliament undertakes. And it's actually a mission-critical process so that we can allow more members to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the consideration of the budget estimates for the financial year 2024-2025. Honorable Speaker, first I want to thank my committee for having spent time with the Ministry of Health, both the State Department for Medical Services and the State Department for Public Health and Professional Standards and its sagas. And I also want to thank the Chair of the Budget Committee, together with the Committee of Budget, for giving us an opportunity where we are able to sit and present the various committee budget, and more specifically for me presenting the budget for the Ministry of Health, that is budget line 1082 and 1083. Madam Speaker, when you look at the budget for health, we've done we did some laws in this year. Among them is the Digital Health Law, the Social Health Insurance Law, the Primary Health Care Law, and the Facility Improvement Law. Madam Speaker, under the Social Health Insurance Law, in this budget, we've provided 1.5 billion for emergency, chronic, and critical illnesses. We've also provided 4 billion for primary health care fund, meaning that our universal health care is now ready for rolling down, because the other contribution for the Social Health Insurance Authority will be contribution from members and also contribution from the public. And therefore, I want to reassure the Kenyans that this bill, this budget has taken care of making sure that we are able to operationalize both the emergency, chronic, and critical illnesses with 1.5 billion and the primary health care with 4 billion. Also in this budget, we've provided money, 2 billion for the Linda Mama program. That is to make sure that our women, when they go and deliver, they are able to be taken care of as we transition to a more comprehensive universal health care. Honorable Speaker, under this law, under this budget, we've also been able to make sure that the National Cancer Institute is able to be operationalized, because one of the biggest challenges in this country has been the issue about addressing the issues of cancer. And therefore, we provided 100 million to operationalize the National Cancer Institute. We've also provided 80 million to the National Cancer Institute to make sure that the established regional cancer institute centers are able to be functional. We have regional cancer center in Mombasa. We have one in Garissa. We have in Nakuru. We also have in Kisii, which is in the process of being built and it will soon be operationalized. And this will address matters about cancer within our country, in addition to the established Kenyatta National Hospital, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, and the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. In this budget, Honorable Speaker, we've also provided Kenyatta National Hospital with 450 million to be able to buy another cancer machine, the LINAC machine for radiotherapy, because when you visit Kenyatta National Hospital with one machine which is functioning, we have many patients who are waiting. That machine is working without stopping, and the patients are being put on radiotherapy day and night, 24 hours. And that makes sure that we have many patients who are on the waiting list. And this makes it very pathetic, very discouraging for many patients who depend on government facilities for treatment. And therefore, by Parliament providing 450 million to Kenyatta National Hospital to buy another LINAC machine for this financial year, then we hope that Kenyatta National Hospital will now reduce the waiting time for patients who are waiting for radiotherapy within Kenyatta National Hospital. Honorable Speaker, in this budget, we've also made sure that we're going to make sure that the 23 KMTCs, which have been set up by the honorable members, will be able to make them operational through employment of staff, through equipping of those KMTCs, and also through making sure that there is completion of construction. Madam Speaker, this budget, as much as it is had challenges, because initially the budget ceilings that were put, we had to reduce it by close to 30% for all the ministries. And that, I want to say that the ministry should not worry, because if the government is able to meet its target in terms of revenue collection, then what it means is that when we will have another supplementary one to address the various gaps and challenges that we'll be able to face in the course of the financial year. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I want to support. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for the, Honorable David Kangogo, Member for Marakwet East. Honorable Kangogo. Okay, he's busy. He's not ready. Honorable Tangoya? No, your time passed. Proceed, Honorable Tangoya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity also to add my support to the Budget and Appropriation Committee for a well-done job. So I want really to thank the Chair and the committee for putting a lot of time to really come up with a very moderate budget. Honorable Speaker, listening to the Chair budget, it is so encouraging to realize that the budget as read has continued to really live to the promise that the Kenya government, Kenya Kwanza government promised to Kenyans. More importantly, Madam Speaker, to appreciate is that the budget has continued to really put more emphasis on the matters and sectors that are so crucial and important to the Kenyan people. To mention like agriculture, that a lot of emphasis and enhancement has been given to the sector of agriculture to ensure that the Kenyan people continue to be hunger-free. And it's something notable, Madam Speaker, that should be appreciated. It's also good, Madam Speaker, to note that the budget looked into the consideration of the pastoralist community, especially talking into the issue of restocking. It is the first time that we are actually seeing a very good positive direction in looking into the real issues that affect the Kenyan pastoralist. Madam Speaker, there is also, in the sector of security, there is an enhancement into the area of security, which is so crucial to the entire sector of this country, especially when we are handling and tackling the issue of insecurity and cattle rustling in the North Rift, and actually the issue of bandits in northeastern part of this country. The budget has really taken into consideration, and we want to assure Kenyans that with enhanced budget and provision of the tools of service to our National Police Service and our security organs, Kenya is continued to be secure. There is a huge budget that has gone into the modernization program and even enhanced in the issue of operations. Madam Speaker, more importantly, there is a sector of government printer. That is a very crucial institution that does a lot of crucial documents to this country to make sure even the bills we use in this house, the logbooks, the title deeds, and the institution has continued to be in depleted state. My committee had also considered, and also the Committee of Budget had also considered to add and enhance the budget, which will go a long way to ensure that this important institution get back to its feet. Madam Speaker, in the budget, again within the ministry, there is Mbagathi National Police Hospital that's been ready and equipped for the last 3 or 4 years, but has never been able to be used by our security and police officers. And in the budget, there is a substantial amount allocated to it, and it is going to help a big deal to let our police officers get the much-needed health services. Madam Speaker, on the issue of electricity, it is very encouraging to note the much consideration that the budget has been given, and I'm sure Kenyans are going to go back to enjoy the connectivity which was halted for some time now. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I want also personally to really appreciate that the budget really mirrors the promise made by the leadership of Kenya Kwanza, especially when we are talking about the tight state we are as a country, the austerity measures, especially in reducing the bare minimum, reducing the issue of foreign trips, so that the money gets to where it's so important to the Kenyan people. So I want to really join the rest of us to really appreciate and commend a well-done job, and I'm sure Kenyans are going to enjoy the fruit. I submit, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Housing, the Honourable Johanna Ngeno, Chairperson for Housing and Public Works.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for also allowing me this opportunity to also make my contribution towards this motion. Madam Speaker, I wish to state clearly that I support the motion. And I know very well, Madam Speaker, that these are annual estimates for the financial year 24-25, which is geared towards stimulating the economy of this country and also implementing the projects which the Kenya Kwanza government
had proposed to the people of this nation. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the Chair for this great presentation and, of course, for the great balance and the serious balance he made in the distribution of funds towards several ministries, or the various ministries concerned, and the various departments which of course, are going to make use of these funds. Madam Speaker, I must also congratulate him for looking at the serious areas where many issues have been arising, especially on the areas concerning roads. Madam Speaker, I wish to congratulate the Chair and the committee for putting much considerations on the issues to do with the roads. Madam Speaker, remember, this year, rains have ravaged the country, Madam Speaker, so that even the roads which had been done properly, Madam Speaker, currently most of the roads in the country are impassable, so that we literally have to redo the roads like they have never existed before. But, Madam Speaker, I would have wished our chairman, given the limited resources, I would have wished if the resources were enough. Madam Speaker, I would have wished to see the extension of what we used to call low-volume roads, which were initiated in the previous regime, being continued at this current situation, so that those low-volume roads, Madam Speaker, made very serious impact on the societies that we come from, and most of them have also been almost destroyed by the water, by the rains, and would have been prudent, Madam Speaker, if those roads were repaired.